the women are raising their children alone, not because they chose to.
The war has been started since men ruled women.
A lot of men have that mentality that by virtue of you having a penis, that means you have leadership skills, and you just may not have them.
Need of a marriage way. We're talking about, I don't want another woman. I don't need any other love outside of you.
And the woman is going to have to give. She's going to have to become a little submissive, as well as the man will have to become submissive.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rico Hundo. You already know the vibes. We're here. Come on, you hear me? So listen, we back at it at 8 at the table, and I ain't gonna lie, we got Philly in the building today.
Sersky.
You know what I'm saying? So let's jump right into it. Hey, Smooth, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell them what you got going on, where they can find you, and everything.
All right, y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth, representing Cooking Up 215. You can find me, That Man Smooth, on Instagram, Cooking Up 215 on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all of the above. Right now we just grinding, man. I appreciate the invite. It's been going up.
Tell us about like your show and like what your focus and.
Okay. Well, the show we pretty much like to get people up close and personal with their favorite artists, entrepreneurs, whoever's making noise in the tri-state area, pretty much. And that's because who we could reach. We just had Jay Skis. He signed to Conway, and he came from like Buffalo, New York. So if people willing to come, we willing to have them. But it's just about shining some light on people that deserve it, giving them, their roses while they're alive, letting them tell their story, because there's always somebody that's working as well that's probably going through the same things that they're going through. And I always feel like we live in such a gatekeeper society at this point where everybody wants to be the gatekeeper and don't want to open the door for nobody unless there's a paycheck involved. And I'm like, man, we need somebody to represent us. Who's going to let us in? So that's what Cooking Up is to help let everybody in that don't normally get in those doors or get their thing off and, tell their story until it's too late.
That's dope. I mean, I'm a big voice right now. I got to pull up, you know what I'm saying, and share my voice.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, Aaron, like, stop looking at me like that.
No, I'm a ride with you.
Listen.
I'm gonna ride with you.
The whole gang, bring the whole gang.
Yeah, we about to pull up on you
We
one
gonna share
time.
a
You know what I'm
meal.
saying? One time for the one time.
Share a meal, talk. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
y'all be having food?
Yeah.
Well, I know it's in the kitchen. I saw that, but I didn't know that y'all actually be eating.
Because they cooking up.
We really cooking up.
You feel me?
We cooking up while we talking about what you got cooking up.
Come on,
So
man.
I saw that, but I didn't know that y'all was like really like
We
eating.
really bust down a meal. Like when he was talking about Talk Heavy came through, we had lobster and lamb chop that day with seafood fried rice. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Amanda's like, sign me up. I'm in the car too.
That's your favorite, lamb chops?
I mean, that's very extravagant.
Women
That's a
love either
very
lamb chop,
extravagant meal.
lobster, or what's the other one? Salmon.
Ironically,
Which one is it?
I do like a good lamb chop.
Okay.
Right now, I do prefer that over steak.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm a lamb
I
chop.
don't
Lamb
like
chop.
lamb chop.
You don't like lamb
I've
chops?
only I can literally only think of 3 times that I've had lamb chops and they weren't too gamey. And I was like, oh my God, I
What?
can't. Yeah.
Because you
Nah.
gotta marinate your lamb chops. Like I'm a
clean
chef
it.
myself. Like I cook. I ain't a legal chef, but I've been cooking for a long time. So I've learned that when you marinate the lamb chops, that gets rid of the gamey taste.
You ever be using your cooking skills for your dating life?
Yeah, that's how I got my wife. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She ain't going nowhere because she ain't gonna find a way that fried chicken the way I do. No matter what I do,
how much
she, you know
times
what I
you
mean?
fry that chicken? One time or
All
2
the
times?
time.
It only
She
took
get
one
me to do it
time.
all the time. Now when the family have events, they be like, "You gonna fry that chicken?" No, sir, I'm not. No, sir, I am not. They be trying to sign me up every time. Nope.
So that's your go-to? Fried chicken is your
Fried
go-to?
chicken. For her, that's what she
No,
like.
in general,
But
like what is it? If we gonna have Smooth's best meal, what's it gonna be?
I would do salmon. Salmon experience. I make a banging salmon.
How do
I
you?
make a banging steak too. I'm really.
No,
Yeah, I'm definitely
but you
pulling
only
up.
got
Oxtail. I could do
Yeah.
oxtail. Like if I'm really trying to impress somebody, I'll go oxtail on them. But yeah, I'll go oxtail.
I
Just to
don't-
show you something.
How you do your oxtail?
Yeah.
Are you Caribbean?
I'm not Caribbean at all.
How
No,
you do your oxtail?
I'm cultured.
Southern
Um,
style or Caribbean style?
it's Caribbean style, but it's just like my own little twist on it. So my grandmother is African. Well, she wasn't African, but she was married to an African. My grandpa is African. So she used to make oxtail all the time, but she made more of a soup,
Mhm.
oxtail soup. So I really just kind of took her recipe and really kind of Americanized it and created more of a gravy
A
to
rice
it.
and gravy type
Yeah,
thing.
so
Mhm.
it's a thick gravy vibe. It ain't all soupy or nothing like that.
All right.
I mean,
so-
I trust him. I ain't gonna lie.
Wait a minute.
His name not smooth for no reason.
Wait a minute.
That's a fact.
So we're gonna go. Rico's gonna drive, and then we'll put in our menu.
Hold on, time out. I don't do
We
chauffeur.
don't do no menu.
But
We're gonna have a chef and they
Yeah.
gonna, you know what I mean? Y'all tell me what y'all don't eat, what you don't like.
Wait, but I want
and
your food.
You want my food? I used to
Yeah,
cook.
ain't you the
I
chef?
don't be cooking on the show
He's,
no more.
first of all, he's married.
We
He
might
only
be able
cooking
to-
for one
we might be
woman.
able to arrange something later. You know what I'm saying? I might make it special
See?
for y'all and cook
Thank
for
you.
y'all.
Well,
Yeah,
invite
right.
us to the
We'll talk
cookout.
about it.
Yeah. To the
When
cookout.
When you
When
cooking,
I'm cooking.
Yeah.
Okay.
We always ask 3 questions to our guests,
Okay.
right? It's been something that we've been pretty consistent with, right? So I'll start off with the first one, and I'll let them go. Now,
Thank you, sir.
no problem. You only have 24 hours to live.
Okay.
Can't pick your wife.
All right.
Is there a woman, or in this day and age, anybody that you would
Person.
that you could experience one time before your life ended? Who would it be?
Damn, I never thought about it.
as
No
you
lie.
shouldn't, but
Probably Joe Button's girlfriend.
I love
Who is his girlfriend?
Cat Eyes.
yo, smooth is that?
Huh?
Who's his girlfriend?
Cat Eyes. I think it's Cat Eyes. Is it Cat Eyes?
Is it
It's something like that.
Oh.
Cat something.
cat something?
But
Cat
Joe Button,
Stacks?
my brother.
Doja Cat?
You gotta
guy
keep
right
her.
there.
You gotta
Joe
keep her.
Button finds him. He picks him. I don't know what he does, but
Joe
boy,
Button's girlfriend.
right here.
Yeah. I have no
Put
idea
the
who she
picture right
is.
next to my face.
Boop.
Um,
Nah, that's dope. You know what?
Yeah.
I gotta say, I really respect you because everybody be coming on here, be capping and telling me all this extra rah rah. I be like, bro, come on, let's be real.
What, they don't answer the question?
They be like, my girl.
oh.
I'm like, come on,
It's
all right.
hypothetical,
Oh,
man.
the
My,
real
my wife, she
guys.
know me.
You know, and then we got Miri over here that be supporting it. Like, that's right, stand your ground.
The next question
Good luck.
is like, what is your go-to drink of choice?
Tequila.
Like the straight,
Straight tequila.
no water,
It
no
don't really-
ice, no nothing.
Is there a preferred
Oh, yeah,
Blanco,
go for it.
Reposado? It doesn't matter.
Añejo preferred.
Nijo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Especially now, though, what is it? Cristiano. It's a clear Añejo. That is smooth. Normally, if you get a good one of those, it's a smooth one. They got a tequila that's called Identity. I don't know if y'all had it or have it up here. I only ever catch it in Jersey and Cherry Mall. By Cherry Mall at the
Yeah.
Total Wines. That thing smooth. It's so smooth.
Like
it's just
dangerous, smooth.
like yeah, you'll drink it, not
Don't need-
realize
yeah.
it's gonna catch you.
Okay, so last question. You can have dinner with anybody, dead or alive. Who would it be?
They probably not even dead. One of the Rockefellers, the one that started it all,
Like was it
He a
JD?
smart
JD
man.
the
Rockefeller?
one who started it all.
It's JD, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Yup.
it's JD. Yeah.
That's who I would. That's who I would have dinner with.
Do y'all want to know something?
We was just talking about this shit.
Yeah, we were.
Lineage, all that, yep.
Yeah. They thought so far ahead. I don't think people understand how they play the game. They play the game at such a different level. It's like it's not even like 3D chess. It's like literally like 10D chess. They got it so figured out. They know what's happening right now, and they figured it out back then, and they had a plan for it. So I would love to know where their head was at and why.
And where is that right now?
Happy because they winning.
Gender wars, yeah. So gender wars. So we're talking about men and women gender wars. Who started it, or how did it start, and the solutions for it. So I'm gonna just alley oop this to Erin and let her segue this off, cause that's my good colleague.
I don't honestly. I don't know how it started, but my assumption is that assumption. So don't come in the comments talking no bullshit. My assumption is that it came from the power dynamic between men and women after women started to gain equal rights and opportunities. And I think that there, while women have been getting equal rights or striving for equal rights and opportunities, uh, the resistance has generally, I would think, has come from men who are the ones who would have to pivot and change. And there's resistance to changing against something that's been a certain way forever. So I'm assuming that's what it is. I really don't know.
Facts.
Nah, I got some shit for y'all, but go ahead,
I was,
Smooth.
I was about to say, do y'all know how all this stuff started to begin with? Like how women rights and women voting and all this stuff started. It really was just because the government couldn't tax half the population. So you got 50% of the population is women, and they all sitting at home taking care of the kids. If they go to work, now we can get money from the father and the mother.
But the women weren't initially in the workforce. So the taxing,
They were.
no, they weren't. Black women were in the workforce, but non-black women were not. And what it was that when the men were off to war, you still needed somebody to support the families. And so that's what drove women into work. And then when the men came home, they was like, shit, I got a little money, I got a little freedom. I wanna keep doing this. And so the what you're saying, and this ties into what you're saying, the government pushed that.
Because they saw a
Yeah.
benefit.
Exactly.
So okay, I did some.
Works for them. It was about separating the household. If you get the man to work, the woman to work, and then the kids go to the schools, and the schools get educated by people that they put in place with the system that they put in place. It was a whole lot to it, but
Well,
yeah.
initially, the women's movement was really about the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. Let's not confuse that. Like, that was really how it started. And then you shifted to the need for equality, for education and schooling and everything else. But initially, it was about women wanting to vote because women wanted the right to own their own property, having a sense of their own self. Because prior, women and the children you had in that family were deemed the man's property. So if the man decided to divorce the woman, he could not only, she would be left with nothing, even if he inherited everything from her, not only can he take everything that was hers, he could take the children, and she had no rights to that.
Okay, my opinion. That's not an opinion because it's a theory because it's supplied by facts.
Please tell us.
First and foremost, and I love the fact that like in my household we be having conversations about this. So
Really?
yeah, so cause like my girl be talking about some stuff. I be like, yo, bro, you don't make no sense. So let's do the so we do the research together. And I tell you the backstory. It started off about men providing. So when we actually did some research and we Googled the first considerable women's movement, it was started by married women in the late 1800s, and it was basically about the
Women's Property Act?
Women's Property Act, about the ability to own, whatever property that she was married into, right? Her name should be on whatever land, house, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that was the start of it. That was the very first time women decided to say, hey, listen, if we're married to you, we deserve to own some type of, or have some type of ownership for whatever we have been married into. And I know we've all, and I'm not going to play dumb here. I hope none of us are. We all know men who have bought houses, gotten divorced, left the house with the woman, or she won the house, and the kids. So now we done seen a whole 360 or 180 flip from the men retaining rights of the children in 1993. That was
No.
19. What was it?
In 1800.
1800s.
The late 1800s.
So in 1800s, men have already lost ownership of the kids, automatically granted to the woman.
It's not automatic.
Damn near, like damn near. But then, so we lost that, or I don't want to say lost that. We gave that up. Now, then you.
But at one point, were the men solely responsible for the children? There's never been a time in history
Women were taking
where
care of the
where the men were responsible for the children. And let's think logically about this. The reason why they typically have gone, I don't know about right now, but the reason why they typically have gone to the mother is simply because they were the ones who were giving the care to the child. And at no point in history has there been a time where the roles were reversed.
So
I don't think they use that honestly when it come down to picking. It's another thing about the system is really statistically shown that with fathers, even if it's a single father and he take care of the kids, those kids come out better than the kids that's raised by strictly single mothers. It's better discipline. It's all those types of
Okay,
things.
but my thing is this: we could just talk. Let's talk about this. You wanna,
I wanna know which one
and you also wanna, you ask the question of when were they the caregivers or the caretakers? Well, realistically,
they weren't.
once they got divorced, that man, right? If we're going with the narrative, women weren't working at that point, right? Women were not allowed to work at that time. Okay, we're talking about the late 1800s now. We're far back now. We play a major role based on results. So, but my thing is this. This is where the war starts, right? The war starts when there wants to be a neglect or a downplay on the role of the man, especially when it comes to a child, right? So when we say, hey, listen, statistically, data or the history, data, whatever, the history of fathers being present in that child's life with or without the mother, the biological mother, the kid has that kid has a better probability in going further. This is just this what?
I just want to know what study it is.
It is one study. And what we know is children thrive better in a two-parent household.
Okay, but we're not talking
Because-
about we're
because
talking
of the
about the
father,
war
and I
here.
think
It's
even
not just
now,
because
I
of the
think even now,
father.
no,
Oh
we
my
can
God.
attest to that now. Like even right now, think of what's going on now. All the kids with the guns, all the young boys, they all under 18. 9 times out of 10, they don't got their dad in their life. All the dudes that come on my show, the young rappers, I never had my dad. I don't know what my dad is. I never really worried about it. Y'all out here drilling. Y'all out here telling other kids to drill. They not guided. And I watch other mothers with their kids. Y'all don't know how to say no. You don't know how to sit that ass down. Like it's a lot of things that y'all don't do that a man would do.
I don't disagree
So
with
I feel
you.
like a lot of times that's the reason why they so off the leash now.
But
So I feel like we've
what I'm
seen it
just trying to-
firsthand
That's a
how
symptom, and not like
right.
like that's merely. And I agree with you, and I'm not
It's
disagreeing
not the
with
solution.
the stat,
uh-huh.
but that's a symptom of a bigger problem, because the women are raising their children alone, not because they chose to.
Right.
Some of them.
that-
Wait, hold on. Time out. Time the
Because I was
fuck
about to
out.
say, I was really about to get
Some of them have.
Y'all, let's
No,
not make
even that though.
let's not
not
make
even on that side.
let's
What?
not make exceptions into rules. Let us
Right.
not make exceptions into rules. Yes, there's some.
Yeah, no
Uh-huh.
woman.
But
wants
but
to
but at the
struggle
end of the
with a
day,
child.
no one is saying it. I can't imagine.
Choosing to struggle with a child by
Yeah.
themselves.
So do y'all think that fathers are not in kids' life just because they out here just
For
partying?
no reason.
Yeah, like they just was like
I just don't want to be here.
I'm
No,
out.
I don't know. I'm
I'm
saying,
out.
let's just say we don't know why. But you know what we do know? That they're not there.
Yeah, the reason.
But
we
you-
But a lot of
sacrifice-
a lot of those reasons are like governmental system reasons. though.
cannot-
So
first of all,
you got a lot of people that's incarcerated. So many dudes that's fathers are incarcerated. It's real, but
I don't
so,
disagree.
so much of this is just truly a plan. So much of this is already just something that was written down, implemented, and is working. Do y'all think we're made? Was it like a choice, like, oh, I want to sell this coke so I can buy these
We
rims?
all- it doesn't
or
matter.
was
We
it to
all have
provide
choices.
for your
Choices that
family?
But
Yeah,
that's
there
a
is
choice that a
choices.
man makes.
See,
You
and I
wanna hear
think
a
this-
funny-
And I think this is a problem too. So, all right, so a lot of the women worst thing is like women, cool, y'all doing your thing and y'all winning, and I think this is what Rico was saying. Whereas though now it's this thing where men are being down talked, like we worthless, we
I
don't
don't-
hold up our
I don't-
piece.
Nobody. I
Not
don't
saying
believe
y'all
that.
feel that way, but I'm saying that's where I feel like the war coming at. Like I was watching some girl and she in her car and she was talking about women. They did a study saying that women, black women, Latino women are now making XYZ, and the black man makes average 38,000 a year.
That's
And
just
she was like, and I'm
nonsensical.
about to buy these
Yeah, I don't think that's
$300
true.
That's
ball
stupid.
main slippers. And
Yeah.
y'all out here only that you
Why?
had
She
to work
makes
3 days to
what?
get this.
'Cause she
So
makes
it's just like that's
$2,000
what's
more?
going on though.
But here's the thing. This is what happens, right? Women try to separate from other women, right? And it's like that's the women that y'all trying to separate from is the problem. You're trying to say, oh, I don't think it's sensical. You're right, but you know how many millions of them that are out there? Do you know how many
millions or what?
Of those type of women that are out there? Do you know how many millions of those type of women are procreating? And then you're saying it's on a man to not deal with, to try to deal with her. You know how many women that use kids as pawns? My biggest my opinion is this: the war has been started since men ruled women. Now men have been relinquishing powers to women, right? Over the last 200 years.
Wait, relinquishing means like you're doing it.
Like you're giving it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're giving it up.
No.
Yeah.
Relinquishing means like, it has a connotation of like you're doing it
By choice.
Out of pity.
by choice, like without obligation.
They don't have to. Listen, I think women need to understand this. If men truly wanted to run this world, they would have never gave anything out. The only reason why they did give it out is because they were actually like, you know what? We're wrong. So, for us acknowledging that we're wrong, here's this. Okay, cool. Then you go ahead and say, all right, now we work. Boom. Now let's fight for votes, voting rights. Boom. So now you got this. Men have been relinquishing power for the last 200 years in America and probably all over the world. Actually, not even, because in some cultures, it's still the same way.
Middle Eastern.
Yeah, Middle Eastern places do not play that. So now we've been relinquishing power. Boom. Okay, you have the same rights. You have the same rights. You have the same ability to do all. They did not have to give you nothing. But hold on. So now they did, and the problem is this, and I understand it, but it's not justifiable. The problem is this: women are now at the point where it's like we finally got all the freedom, all the rights, and all the abilities to maximize our potential. But the problem is they're going crazy with their power, and while they're going crazy with their power, it's all out of balance.
And you know, we talked about this before, and I told you, I said at the end of the day, think about niggas with new money. You gonna ball out because you don't know what to do with it yet. You don't know about financial responsibility. You've never had it. You don't know how to use it. You don't know how to allow it to make more money for you. You're just out here living with it because you don't have the knowledge and the life experiences to show you and teach you otherwise. Same thing with women, and I've said this before so many times. Yeah, people wilding, but you got to give us some fucking grace.
It's a little different though, but
How?
But because if you saying women is acting crazy because we never had power before, so now you're out here balling out of control, that's a personal choice. It's like, yeah, it's new money to you, but when it come down to trying to beat the system, it's things in place that's bigger than you. You choosing to ball out act crazy.
But here's my thing.
It ain't that system. Yeah, I mean, because all this stem from that. It comes from the black family prospering. So even all this right now with women coming out on top, it's all by design. At the end of the day, once again, this whole war, this sex wars,
gender war,
man against women thing, it's all the whole thing of keeping us separated. Now it's man against woman.
Right.
Now we can't be a team because you so worried about making sure you exert your dominance and make sure I don't think that you.
It's definitely a minority thing.
Now I'm saying
no, it's across the board.
No,
age,
it comes
race,
across the board in some manner because there still are some races that where women understand their position and they play the nurturer to the kids and the husband, and that's strictly what they do. And that's the reason why when you talk about Andrew Tate and his strong stance because of the way he was raised, his mother took care of him and his dad was the worker and getting the bacon and all. Right. So it's like you can't blame a man for he grew up in that and he understands how that's supposed to work.
Yeah,
so that's what he think the world should be.
That's great. Look, I don't
many prospered with that.
I don't have any problems with Andrew Tate and his ideology. That's his business, right? And my issue is that both parties get on this defense mode. Like you get your back brought up rather than sitting and really listening to each other, right? It's like, no, do as I say, do as I say, do as I say. And it's like, no, wait, you have to listen to me and let me listen to you.
Right.
And that's the problem because everybody's so fixated on doing what I want you to do. And it's not working. It's not working. And
It's
I don't know
never gonna
when
work like
we're
that.
going to realize it's not working.
Because
Marie, you know, like,
is key.
but here's the thing: is we just had, and we could run this back. I would love for somebody if we have a viewer out there. First of all, make sure y'all like the YouTube channel and run the likes up. If we have a viewer out there that can literally put pieces together of our conversation that we just had. And I think and this is just my opinion and my perspective on this conversation and what's going on in this world here in America. is that we have the simple fact that men want women to hold their accountability the same as we gonna hold ours. And when we go ahead and we say, okay, cool, men are incarcerated, and we already know that the judicial system in America is against us, especially as a black man, right? Historically proven and even currently proven. We don't sit here and debate and say, well, because we know that, we're going to double down on bad choices, right? But I can hear you say,
He did.
no, I didn't.
No, I said he did.
No, he didn't.
He
First,
justified.
wait, hold on. We were talking about listening. We were talking about listening, right?
But you're framing something incorrectly.
No, I'm not.
Yes, did you
You
not?
said I justified the fact of doing what you gotta do.
No.
Yes.
No. First of all, I'm speaking, Aaron, listen, I'm speaking verbatim. He said there are other reasons why, right? But never did he said there are other reasons why, so I double down on it.
She didn't say double.
Yes, she did. And this is the problem that we're having. Nobody wants to listen. When it comes to women listening, they don't want to listen. And I'm trying to tell you, we're trying to tell.
Things incorrectly.
I didn't frame it incorrectly.
You
Like
did.
I said, I asked somebody to please cut this up and put this together, and they could be able to prove it. When we sit here and we say, hey, listen, y'all were balling out of control, and you saying that there's a way to approach the women that are balling out of control, and if we do it the opposite way, instead of you being receptive, you just double down on bad behavior. And that's the problem, because at the end of the day, even if I don't do this the right way, you still got to know that you're wrong. And you do know that you're wrong. And you're still double down because now you think your wrong is justified by my wrong. So it's always a constant struggle battle, because it's like, who's wrong first and who is wrong more? But the realistic thing is, yes, we are both wrong. Yes, we have both been wrong for hundreds of years. Did women deserve to get beat 100 years ago? No. Did women deserve the way that they was treated 100, 250 years ago? No. But if we're going to move past something, then we have to let some of these things go and say, okay, well, guess what? In retrospect to women being beat, there's been laws that's been in place for women that do get beat. Hopefully they can, gain the courage to speak up on it, and then actions can be implemented on it. But there's been solutions put in place for the benefit of women over time. And now I feel like there's enough here where it could be like, yo, listen, we need to stop the madness. We need to stop the madness.
I don't think any of today's issues when it comes to women and them exerting their dominance has anything to do with what happened in the past. I think all that is probably just an extra excuse, but I really feel like a lot of it is a defense mechanism. I feel like some women have relationship issues, trust issues, can't depend on a man, or been through bad things. So now you feel like you rely on self. So now you double down on self. Now you go hard. Now you got something to prove. I seen a girl I know personally, and she just posted something like, let's get money and ball on these niggas. That's the mind frame. That's the mind frame. Let's get money so we could ball on these niggas. Like, that's it. Like, y'all just want to stunt on dudes because of how you feel about whatever Jerry, Mike, and Lil Kim, you know what I mean? Whoever did whatever to you, so now you owe it to the world. And some dudes is like that too. Dudes get out there, and I feel like even that come to why dudes be dogs, because we get hurt by a woman, so now we got to go out and prove shit to ourselves. Right. So it's all the same thing. It's all defense mechanisms.
It's a human defense mechanism, right? We might be defensive about different things, right? You might be because maybe certain women rejected you, whatever it is, or a woman felt oppressed or whatever, not recognized. So what I'm saying, it's a human reaction. So it's not so much a gender issue.
Yeah, it's not. It's just, I guess right now the problem is that it's so strong. And I think it's the fact of social media. Now we got so many platforms that highlight it and speak on it. And I think some people dig into the negative just because it goes viral and people bite it. So they doubling down on saying the wrong things, and then people take that and they running with that and they living by that. So I think it's just a lot of things staring people in the wrong ways, but it all comes down to just people being hurt in the end.
And I think, in my opinion, is people are choosing wrong leaders. Like,
following the wrong people.
Yeah, like, no offense to Cardi B, and Megan Thee Stallion, but those are not, their music is not the best role model type of music for you to implement into your household.
And then the crazy part,
but on the flip, hold on, because I gotta get on the dudes too. Like, no shade to certain people with certain podcasts, but there's men out there that want to get that preach to men get money just so you can shit on women. You're still a herb.
Facts.
That's not the right leader either.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So what happens is you got a woman who's trying to have a hot girl summer who's now messing with a dude who just got money just so he can manipulate women, and you got these two people with platforms. You got these two people that's in here preaching, and the worst part is they can preach. It doesn't matter if they preach, but what matters is the people who decide to follow. Right? So now when women think that is the right way to be, and the worst thing is there's no results that prove success for either of them. So you're following both ways. You got women that think that that's the right way to be, men that thinking that following the bitter cornballs is the right way to be. And then what ends up happening is we got all these people over here that then get into the ears of the innocent or the ears of the real, and then certain pieces of it get picked up by the wrong people, and it's just a domino effect.
Right.
And then we come back into this middle ground where we got to have a chaos, and we have to have a heated discussion on gender wars or you know what I'm saying? And that's just my personal
So
perspective.
do you think it's a matter of leadership?
The real, see, the thing is, the real got to tell people they're real, but it's just like Instagram, right? First they started with diamonds. First they started with gold. Then they started with diamonds. Now they got verification badges. They've been mixing the real with the fake in all layers of life, right? You mix fake gold with real gold, or fake gold with silver. Then you mix real diamonds with fake diamonds. They got diamonds that are fake that just test as real. Now you got blue checks. Yeah. Now you got blue checks, all right? And you don't know if they're really a person who deserved the verification, right? Or somebody who paid for the verification. Right. And now everybody's just jumping out the window with fake things. So it's so hard to even identify what is real because everything has been mixed together. So yeah, you got women following fake women. Like when they said the city girls, I remember there was a while ago, they said the city girls had relationships at home or something, but yet they're preaching being city girls. You got Ciara talking about being independent, but she's a married woman at home.
That's what I was gonna say about Cardi B.
Same thing. You feel me? Then you got all the other dudes that be talking about this, that, the third, but you know what I'm saying? They're doing the entirely contradictful behaviors at their home life. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? I don't really know the lyrics to Ciara's song, but does anybody know by chance? Because I know there was a big ruckus about her saying
I
that
don't
she
know
was
like
independent.
lyric for lyric, but
Yeah, it kind of got.
What's the gist of the
it's a
song?
girl
It's a new
song.
I don't.
She
It was
said
about,
this
like,
is
6
for the
months ago.
girls.
Oh, that's that song with Lady London?
Yeah.
Is that the joint with Lady London?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like a woman empowerment song
So
though.
I have a question.
An
and
independent woman empowerment.
I have a question. So, would you want to marry a woman who can't stand on her own 2 feet as an independent, grown adult person? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Would you, Rico, want to be with a woman who cannot stand on her own 2 feet, support herself, and move accordingly in life?
Based on everything
No,
you
no, no,
just
no,
said right
no,
now,
no.
Yes
It's
or no,
yes
babe?
or no.
based on every,
Yes
I'm
or it's no.
okay. I'm
No. It's yes or no.
not. I don't need to answer it your
Okay,
way.
okay,
So
well,
like,
okay,
no, because no,
because
because
if you don't answer it, let me finish my statement.
All right,
So
go ahead,
you
finish it. Yeah.
said- So
Yeah.
you said no, and I always ask this question when there's a big brouhaha about independent women, this independent women that. So if men don't mind wanting to be with a woman who can actually take care of herself, she can cook for herself, clean, she can have a job, she might know how to mow the grass, she can do everything for herself. If you're saying that there's nothing wrong with you building a relationship and a partnership with that kind of woman, what is the big deal with men saying, well, women on their independent stuff, I don't want no independent woman? Like, truly, what is wrong with an independent?
I don't think it's
woman?
about being independent. It's about how you stand on your independence. Like if you and I dating and you got a job and you know how to do whatever you want to do, and when I make a decision and say we about to do this, what you gonna say? Are you gonna battle me when I say we about to do X, Y, Z? Or you want to go here and I say we gotta wait? Or you want to go to Miami? I know you got the bag. I don't need your money. I'm going to Miami
Men are
with or
scared of
without you.
hyper
So it turns into a battle when you know that you can stand on your own. Now you feel like that's why they say women need to be more. What do you say? Submissive.
Maybe
because
she just
it's
doesn't trust
when
your
you say
leadership.
submissive, it ain't about like getting on your hands and knees, but it's about understanding and letting a man lead.
But
And
you
women don't
she
want
has,
that no
She
more.
has to trust your leadership. Rico was talking about these delusional guys, right? They're
Mhm.
not really dudes, but in their mind, they're like, I'm that guy. No, you're just a guy with money. You're not a leader. Now
Right.
you get in a relationship with a woman and you're supposed to think that she's supposed to, and she's like, you're a whole clown, my guy. I'm just with you because quote unquote you have the money.
Mhm.
And that's part
She's
of
a
the
clown too
She
then.
is a clown too, Rico. But
Like,
what
they're
I'm saying,
both
but
clowns.
my point is that a lot of men have that mentality that by virtue of you having a penis, that means you have leadership skills,
Right.
and you just may not have them. And maybe she's a better leader. So maybe you might have to sit down and talk. Maybe she's good at things, you're good at certain things.
Mhm.
But it starts with having that discussion.
This is the thing I want women to understand the difference, right? Women need to understand there's an entirely different there's an entirely difference between being self-sufficient and being independent. They are not synonymous.
What are they?
Just because you can work or just because you work, you take care of yourself and you handle your handle does not mean you're independent, you're self-sufficient. Because if you're a woman who does all those three things and cannot and refuse to not live without your spouse and your partner, that makes you a dependent, self-sufficient person. Same thing with a man. Same thing with a man, right? If a man says, hey, look, I can get the world, but I can't be independent and live on my own, there's a lot of men who can do all those things and still need a woman. That makes him a dependent, self-sufficient man. Now, when you're independent, it's a soul.
Synonymous?
It's
Is
not
it?
synonymous.
I'm
You don't
just
even know
saying-
the synonymous means one and the same. But
No, that's what
We're
I'm
not talking
saying.
about
You said
definitions.
it's not one and the same.
We're not.
What are we talking about?
I thought
He's saying they over
Self-
debate-
they're not
debating
off-
self-
they're
self-sufficient
not
and
synonymous.
independent. But I do
They're
think
not
there's
synonymous.
A difference, though.
Do
There
you
is a
have
difference.
privacy screen? Because I can't see it.
yeah, she does.
Yes, you do.
I do.
So hold on,
but
before you do that, right?
the dictionary says they're the same.
They said that they're same
By
or
dictionary,
similar.
but they still
The
different,
same or
though.
similar.
I think
Because see, this is what happens. People need to understand etymology. The same and similar are not the same. That means they can be closely related.
No, but if a word says that, one is synonymous to the other, then that means the same.
Well, obviously, if it said it was synonymous, but there's not.
No, but you said it's not. So
Yeah, but we have. This is what happens. We get on a good point, and then this is what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Continue the
So they're not synonymous. So self-sufficient,
wrong.
self-sufficient, and independent are not always synonymous. So what ends up happening is women confuse being independent with being self-sufficient. Yes, you have the ability to work. Yes, you are great at finding ways to make money. Yes, you are great at taking care of yourself and even obtaining certain things such as a car and a house. But that does not mean that you are independent. A lot of people, especially men, I don't think men are independent beings.
Right.
I don't think that men go ahead and try to conquer all these things just to have it for themselves.
Right.
Like Alan mentioned before, men do these things and then they seek women that they can build with, that they can share with. That's what, if I conquer this world, I don't want to conquer it myself. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp said that on his own platform, he went, and Shannon Sharp is a great, legendary, probably Hall of Famer, soon to be Hall of Famer, NFL player. He said
He in the Hall of Fame.
he's in the Hall of
Right,
Fame.
I was
All right,
thinking
cool,
that,
dope.
too.
So he's in the Hall of Fame, right?
I don't even watch him.
But
I know.
more of the story is
Yellow Jacket.
he said himself that he did all these things and achieved all these accolades. But what was his one thing that he kind of regretted? The fact that he didn't have somebody to share it with.
But
Yeah,
having
I think
someone
the fact
to
that he
share it
didn't-
with is, I get that part, but that doesn't mean that you're not
That should.
independent.
Yes, it does.
I don't think that means that you're not independent.
Well, shout out to the Porter family, who's basically saying you two are interdependent on each other, and that's really what I think Rico is saying.
Interdependent.
That's what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Well, if you're not independent, you gotta be something else.
Yeah.
So-
and if you can't put him in the
I think
game,
don't say not
If you're doing
self-dependent, but you're
if you're
interdependent.
doing, it's just like, okay, if you're married, I'm not saying specifically that's what you're saying,
Mm.
but if you're married, you're going to work, you're doing this because you have a life with someone else, and you guys you're doing whatever you're doing for you two, right? But if you're independent, right, and you're just looking for someone to share this with because you're doing everything for yourself, and it's just like, damn, I wish I had someone to do this with. You're still independent. You want someone to share everything
Why?
that you have with.
Why?
What do you mean why?
Because you're craving love, you're craving affection, you're craving
But
companionship.
how does that take away from you being independent?
Because the thing is, first of all, I don't believe anyone is independent.
We all need somebody.
And this is known knowledge. In school, probably in high school, I think when you have this, the 3 necessities for human beings is shelter, like food or water, and love, right? So if love is amongst one of the 3 essential needs of people, can someone argue, yo, you can have enough love from your friends and family? Yes. But I believe that companionship overrides all. And I can't say nobody as in total, but majority of people don't want to have everything and have no one to share it with. That's why men buy women.
They what?
That's why men buy women.
What?
Like men buy women for their companionship, for their fake love. They know it's fake, but they just want the companionship.
That's literally where the war starts. The war starts when the women start to separate themselves from the man.
But how do we get here?
Social
what
media,
happened?
social media
Men
and
being
money.
the-
I don't think it has
men
anything-
being controlling, men being the one that usually have the more money and they feel like
Empower.
they can empower and own a woman. And when the women start to feel like, okay, well, in this day and age, I can do this for myself. I can make
Mhm.
just as much money as you. I can be in just as much power as you. So I don't need you. I don't need you to be controlling me. I don't need, and that's where the power, it's a power struggle,
right.
honestly.
So did women get,
All that stuff
in
is
your
with the wrong
opinion?
person though. It's just you get like that because you're dealing with somebody you shouldn't be dealing with. So you're dealing with this guy that makes you feel this way, and he's trying to uphold. He's holding all the power because he has all the money, and he makes the decisions. But if you get with somebody that understands partnership and companionship and how to be a team, then it's different. Then now you can let your guard down, and then you don't have to be like, oh, I could do all this shit by myself. Now it's like we work
can I
together.
I was just about, hold on. I was just, it doesn't even have to be like you're with a person that's like that. It's just because you know how men are in society. I grew up being hyper independent. And yes, I know it's a flaw of mine, but being hyper independent because I don't want anyone to feel like they have control over me.
Now you see how you led with.
That's
You know it's a
crazy.
flaw of mine. And why do you say being hyper independent is a flaw?
Because we need each other. I don't want to be the kind of person, and I'm already working on myself, guys. I'm in therapy, but I don't want to be the type of person to be like, well, I don't need this person. Like, I don't need a man. Like, I can do it on my own. Like, I don't want to be that kind of person.
So you recognize that it's
Yes,
not a
of
good way
course
to
I
be.
recognize,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure that's what other people feel
It stems
as
from
well.
somewhere.
Wait, so
Like, yes, it does come from somewhere.
but where does it come from, Amanda?
From
She said it, yeah, she
generations,
said
from
it.
years.
No. Like I'm talking about you. Like if you said I'm hyper independent, and I asked you, Amanda, what made you hyper
And
independent?
I said I grew up this way. And honestly,
But like, what about it? Like,
and because he said you're dealing with the wrong type of man, and I've never dealt with anyone that made me feel that way. Honestly, I was just raised that way. I was raised that way because my father always told me a man will
Get it
try to
done.
control you as long as a man has money. He's gonna use that money. He's gonna dangle that money over your head, and he'll put that control over you. You have to have your own money. You have to have your own shit together because a man will only add to your life, and you won't need a man for anything.
So your
Yeah,
father
I mean,
taught you
she
that.
got it that way,
Yeah.
but you get
And
some
that's
women
the
that get it from
crazy-
their mothers too. So
Yeah,
you
but
got
she's
somebody
saying
who got traumatized
she
mothers.
She learned that from her father.
Yeah, that's what she said. That,
So
so I
did I.
said, so she got it that way, but then it's also the way where you get it from somebody else that was traumatized.
Right.
So when you get a traumatized person teaching another person who don't understand why
Right,
they're
and then, so you
traumatized,
have
and then they
that
take it as
generational
law.
issue happening. We
Exactly.
we had somebody in the comments basically say a lot of women are this way because they saw their mothers and their grandmothers go
Facts.
through so much issues and problems and challenges with men, and that they in turn were like, you don't need a man so that you don't have to go through what I and your grandmother before went
Mhm.
through. And I think that's part of the challenge.
Yes.
I think-
Wait, can I ask a question? Do you prefer to be needed or wanted?
I'd rather be wanted.
Do you prefer to be needed or wanted?
Wanted.
Do you prefer to be needed or wanted?
Needed.
So,
I need you to need me. Yeah.
So I think
So that
Wait,
you
wait,
can
wait.
dangle your
Rico's such
present.
a rebel.
No,
Wait, let me
no, because
wait,
once
stop.
go.
Can I finish my fucking statement? I asked the question
Yeah.
for a reason. Like, we have to, again, etymology, right? We talking about words and shit, right?
Mhm.
So if someone says, sure, I don't need you, but I want you, and I'm going to show you that I want you. I'm going to communicate with you like I want you. I'm going to behave in a manner that shows you that I want you.
Mhm.
Fuck a need. I don't understand why everybody's caught up on need. No, we do not need somebody to survive. No, I don't need my husband to survive. I was surviving before him, and I can survive after him. Probably better. If something happened to him, I'm gonna be paid. So at the end of the day, it's not about need. I think what's more important is that you want somebody and that you show them through your actions and through your words that you want them. So I don't know, understand why we get so caught up on this need shit. Like it is beyond me, because you said you want to be one. Because when you want somebody, you are making a concerted effort. How you act, how you talk to them, how you treat them, how even you think about them. You know, as the days progress. You know,
Right.
like in your future, your future thoughts. You know, it's because you want them there.
Right.
It's not because you need them there.
I think it's two levels. I think we need a person on a general scale. Like, you need love to survive, or you really just not gonna be happy. But the person that you choose to get that love from, you want that person. You need love.
Well,
But that's
social
in general.
isolation is dangerous. It's just as comparable to like really.
You said isolation is?
Social
Social isolation is
Right.
dangerous.
So you need a person,
It's also
but the
mental
person
health awareness
that you
for
need, you want to
guys.
want that person. But it still don't stem away from the fact that you need love in order to
Yeah,
like,
but
kinda
needing
get through
love,
life.
that's a general idea.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said you still kind of, that person that you want that love from, in a
It's
sense, you need them.
specific.
Okay, so I have a question for this
specific.
specific
You know, it's so fucking-
conversation. Do
you
you
know-
think that a romantic love is needed in your life?
No,
You don't seem
That's
to think
wanted.
so.
I think it's wanted.
Okay.
What's
But
what's
wait,
a
wait.
romantic love?
So wait,
No, because she's saying love is very generic. Like,
Yeah, like you
the
can have the
that
love
you
of your
need can be from
children.
anywhere, from your friends. It could be from
But
family. It
I
doesn't
just
have to
did.
be a
Okay, so from
romantic type
romantic
of love.
love.
you know what the
Yeah.
craziest thing is? I sit up here and I listen to this world say, I don't need something, I want something. Let me tell you something about wants. Wants are conditional. I want my woman to need me. I need unconditional love. I need non-negotiable love. You need air?
See, because the thing
Hold on,
is,
hold on. Do we need air?
yeah.
If you hold your breath and say, no, I want air, I don't need air, and you try to ignore your need for air, you will die. I want
I
to,
want you that bad?
I don't want you to want me at all. I want you to need me because I need,
Die
But when a
without you?
see, the problem
yo,
is
that's
when,
what, but when you think about it, hold on, pardon me.
No, go ahead.
When people needed each other, right? Like my great-grandparents, my grandfather died 1 year, not even, maybe, I don't even know, 11 months, 12 months, whatever. My great-grandfather died. My great-grandmother died a year later.
Yeah.
Not mine.
But
They needed each other.
but for
I
me,
hear that a lot.
but for me, that was because they needed each other.
Where they
Yeah,
together for like 50 years.
Yeah, we want each other because you're 30 years old, you're 35, you're
levels, bro.
32, you're 25. We got our whole lives each other. I don't need you, I want you. When you're 75 years old, you've been with this same person and there ain't no market for you after that.
It's a reverse side to needing somebody. See, now let's say she needs you because you are the bag.
No,
You the bag.
I don't
You
want
take-
you to need me for
see,
my
see,
money.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when you say I want her to need me, now she
Yeah.
can need me out of necessity. And if somebody can replace me and she no longer needs me,
Now what?
she
The
don't
same
want
thing
you.
with want. Because guess
get what I'm
what?
saying?
Only reason why I want you is because you're doing the things that I desire. So the second you stop doing the things I desire, guess what happens with my want? It fades. Now, if you need me, even this is what men do, and it's unfortunate, right? Because I don't subscribe to this. But a man would say, "Oh, she don't got money. She's in a tough situation growing up. She needs a man with money. I want to be the man with money that she needs." So then what ends up happening is she becomes dependent on him. Then we get the girls that come on 8 at the table and tell us that it's his fault because he turned her out to a lifestyle that is unrealistic. But what I will say is,
Yeah,
in the need of a romanticized way or a need of a marriage way. We're talking about I don't want another woman. I don't need any other love outside of you. I just desire your love so much that I need it a part of my everyday life as long as you are alive, whatever that may be. Now, everybody loves differently. And I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. I know we all had different partners. I know all of our partners, we had different experiences on, right? Some of my partners loved me better than the others.
Nigga, if you don't do the gymnastics that you doing over here,
You know what I'm saying? But without you feel me? Like, I don't get. First of all, I promise you this. I promise you this. This, when we talk about what's the problem, this is the problem.
What is it?
People want and people are disposable because experiences are easy to obtain. So now, because you want me and I'm easily to experience, and guess what? The replica and others are easy to experience because the world is so accessible. You just keep wanting. That's called greed. And you know what happens with greed? Ultimately, you'll fail. And that's why we have this gender war. That's why we have all of this failed relationships, because it does not stop, because all you do is want a bunch of things that look new, and everything that is gold doesn't
But that
shine.
doesn't have to be the
So,
case,
like-
though.
I don't know if that
I can
still has
choose
to
to
do
want
with-
the same person every day.
Thank
Yes.
you.
What?
It
Excuse me?
is a
I said it
concerted
doesn't have to
effort.
be greed.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a conditional effort.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
I think the words are interchangeable at this point. I think they both got flip sides, and at this point it's the same thing on both sides. But I just think that overall it comes down to just people with these false images of what love is and shit like that. Relationships.
Who they are.
Yeah, people don't know themselves,
And
and
then-
they're trying to be somebody else. And then you looking on Instagram and you looking online and you seeing somebody else's relationship, and it paints, or this person who
And you
don't
think
have a
that-
relationship
think that love
and
is
they the
supposed to
happiest
be
person in the
rose
world.
petals in the hotel
Right.
room.
Or then you supposed to think that you supposed to Lori Harvey your situation
What's
and
that?
find
What is that?
everybody.
Yeah, I'm like,
where
what
you
is
where
that?
you where you
Switch 'em
find
in.
all the top dudes and
'Cause
go
she
ahead, have your
wanted
fun, and then
them.
you slide off and do your thing. She's an independent woman. That's what you
I
would
don't
say.
know.
She's
Like,
independent.
like the thing is,
She's
when
out
you,
here
See what
living
I'm
her life,
saying,
and
bro?
she doesn't need a man, and she's having fun with whoever she wants at the moment.
She wants
and
men.
and she does what she wants to do.
That's her. We're not worried about that. But
Yeah, but I mean,
right,
but that's what other women take that.
But
and
look at
they-
who. But no
run
offense,
with
no
it.
offense to her. But we've done a lot of research. You can check out my YouTube channel on her mother, and her mother was jumping from relationship to relationship, even within the same family,
they
and
weren't cousins.
even within the same
They
family.
weren't cousins.
And so
The guy
what
already-
happens is we have a bunch of people, and this goes into the flip side of what we're talking about in the prehistoric, well, not prehistoric, but history in terms of like
Dinosaurs,
like the 1980s, the 1970s, and 1960s, when we're talking about the products of what we have today, right? We have all these different things that have happened to men and women who are now trying to raise kids. No offense, but I said this on many podcasts that fathers need to hold their daughters more accountable, because the way I reprimand my daughter and my son, it's not even the same, and they can do the same thing. And that's why not no more, because I made a conscious effort to stop. But if I didn't, I would be a fool to expect my daughter to think that she doesn't have to suffer the same consequences of actions as a man. And then when we have that same girl go out into this world and she does something and she goes, yeah, but I'm a girl, it should be okay. And it's like, no, it's not. Then we have this same flip side of we have the same flip side of men, no offense to Amanda, that's saying that, hey, you need to get money as a defense mechanism so you can't be controlled. That's not the first time I heard that. And the problem when you raise a child up that way, whether it's a girl or a boy, is they're not getting money just for the sole fact of actually benefiting their legacy. They're getting money just to try to protect themselves from being played, not knowing you can still get played.
Facts.
Well, hold on, because I'm
still
about to
do.
chime in right now. My daddy only has girls, so there's no comparison. He has no sons, so
It's three
I
of y'all,
don't.
right? Okay,
Yes.
we ain't got to talk about it.
Yes.
But he got a couple sons. Wait, he got a couple sons.
Child, I don't even know why I hesitated. Yes, there's 3 of us.
You gotta forget. Don't forget, he's Caribbean.
I don't regret at all the way my father raised me, even though it ain't no secret. Me and my father don't be on the same page at all. But I don't regret how he raised me at all. And it doesn't even have anything to do with you got to get money so a nigga can't, control you and dangle his money over. You have to be successful because you gonna try to, get your rinky dinky job and be like, okay, I got to get a man with money. We don't do that over here. I don't need a man with money. If I have a man with money, oh, that's great. You bring in something to my table, but I don't need it. So that's how I was raised. And if I wasn't, I honestly think about how I could have came up on my own in this day and age, social media, shit that's being put on TV and in these reality shows. Like if I would have came up like all these other bitches, like going on dates just to get a meal, wanting a man just for the money, like I could not imagine me being that type of bitch. So I do not regret the way my father raised me at all. At all.
Ditto.
No, and the crazy part too, see, I think a big thing that gets skipped over, men, when we get money or we provide, we see everything as a whole. We see family units. That's why you got a lot of dudes who take care of their whole crew, because that's just what we do. Mm-hmm. See, those dudes don't got women and wives, so they got their crew. Mm-hmm. But we like that. We run in packs, so my pack would be my wife and my kids. Whatever I do is to make sure they cool, regardless. Same way you said, like, it's choices. For men, there is no choice. Yeah, it's eat or be eaten. So we're gonna do whatever to make sure the wife and the kids got food, can go to school, and a roof over their head. Right. Regardless of the situation, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna do what we gotta do. Women, if y'all go out and get money, it's more like it's a singular thing. It's like it's about me. I'm gonna get this bag for myself.
Is the woman married or is it like?
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I feel like even if the woman is married, if she go and get the bag, it's not about taking care of the home. Okay, it's about taking care of herself. I feel like she gonna go acquire this bag, and she's not thinking about how she gotta make sure her husband and her kids is good. She gonna make sure the kids is good by nature, but it's really about self. Especially if she don't have kids. Then it ain't about building with nobody. It ain't about making sure anybody's good. This is her own little bubble of security. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Trauma? Remember, I think you mentioned trauma.
Yeah, about being hurt by people in the past.
I think you're literally going down the same path of like that conversation. The statement you made about trauma. Because you know why she wants to make sure she's safe and has that little cocoon of money? It's because she saw her mama get played. Her mama had to, maybe got divorced. Her grandparents got divorced or something. And the mom was there having to struggle and figure things out.
It could be that, but
why do we go back into justifying?
I was about to say, I think some of them. No, but I don't think that I said that too. But I think that some females, even without that trauma, it's just a natural thing. If you had a kid, and you had a baby boy, and you had a baby girl, and you put them in a bubble, and you never let them experience any trauma, that female, she's going to make sure she's good. The man is going to make sure everybody's good. Whoever's around him that got something to do with him, he's going to make sure everybody's good. That's just what men do. So when women get to this place of where now they could do this and do that, men, we feel some way because, shit, we've been taking care of every fucking body for the longest. Oh, so fuck me now. Now that I'm doing bad, now that we the low person at the totem pole is fuck me. The cops is locking me up. They beating my ass. They not giving us jobs because they forced us to sell drugs. And now we can't get shit done. You know what I'm saying? We can't get loans. We got bad credit because we put our credit out to try to make sure we all was straight. So now you go fix your credit up and you ain't even giving a nigga a loan. You're not letting a nigga use your credit. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the shit that men run into. We run into all these women. That's just about self. And men, we don't know how to do that. I think now men are trying to get like that, but that's not how we are.
Women will take care of their immediate family, not their men.
But we talking about regular levels. We talking about regular levels.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Not like you got $1 billion.
Wait. You saying if a woman gets money, she's not gonna take care of a man if he's in a position like where he needs to be taken care of?
Yeah, I said exactly. I said same exact context. I'm making sure you understand. Yeah. Same exact context. We're talking about people. We're talking about rappers, right?
No, we're talking about like just people. We're talking about general people.
No, we're
in general.
You could say general, because I think I know where you're going with it.
Yeah. I was basing off of Alan's example women will take care of their immediate family first, and they won't take care of their man. In a sense that there is a time limit and threshold on how long that man has. Her mom could have been a whole prostitute all her childhood, and yet she'll still put her mom up in the mansion and pay that, I don't care, and pay that mortgage every single month. The dude could be treating her great, but he's just financially fucked up, and he got 24 months to get his act right.
But if her mom is
wait, guys, wait,
don't you think that there's more reason?
Amanda, no, let me. I asked this question for a reason. I asked this question for a reason, and you just said that women will take care of their family. First
immediate
of all,
immediate family.
Okay, yeah. So if you're immediate, what? Huh? Oh, sorry. The immediate family, and I'm speaking from being like from a wife's perspective. My immediate family is my husband. My immediate family is my kids. That's what I'm gonna take care of. I'm actually gonna take care of them before I ever take care of my parents, because that's the family that I created. Period. And if you choose to do otherwise, that's on you. But if you somebody out here and you're married and you're not willing to take care of your own family that you created first, and you gonna put your mama, who's a crackhead and a prostitute, whatever you just said, in a house,
See,
you living in an apartment, like, I don't understand what
Go
kind
ahead,
of sense it make.
So like now
it
you said
requires you to have a ring to do that.
So you felt it too.
You need
so
a ring to do
when
that.
You said if you married and you're not willing to, that's the problem. Women, y'all gotta until y'all married, it's all for self. Now you might be willing to sacrifice a little bit for your man.
You're married,
but,
you're single until you're married. That's
men
and women.
Men, we don't work like that. A girl ain't putting a ring on her finger before we taking care of everything. Oh, you down bad? Your rent messed up.
You like,
but even think about
you made a choice to do that. Like, why? So you can't complain about making a choice to take care of a woman who is not your wife. You got, if it's an L, you better hold that L. Because
that's not an L. That's men being men, and then you make that you just did, and that what you just said.
Aaron, can I ask you a question?
You make a nigga feel bad because he was compassionate for the woman and held her up and did what he was supposed to do as a man, regardless. If you fucking a girl or you dealing with her, a period, or even period, you in position and that person is not. What you do as a man is you handle that. If somebody hungry, you feed them. That's just how men are. But women is like, okay, we not married. Your bag bigger than mine. For the moment, I'm down bad. Like he said, the clock's starting now. Now was like, I hope he got a plan. You got a plan? What you gonna do? How long you gonna be broke? What we gonna do about this?
So
now we can't do this. Now it's chicken real. Now you question the shit. What the fuck? I'm down bad for 2 seconds. Men, we gonna figure it out, but we go through ups and downs. Where women, y'all shit different because you don't get out there and you don't go sell drugs. Y'all don't go steal cars and y'all ain't hitting licks because you're a woman. Most of y'all get educated.
Layers and go on the corner.
So I mean, all right. So you got women. Women might go dance if shit get tough.
That is
other things to do.
Women might,
Not all women can do that,
but
though.
you don't get locked up for stripping.
No, I'm saying, why do you keep reverting back
Yeah,
to
but
going
it's
to the
not-
corner?
Barely.
It's reality,
I
though.
don't get that.
Barely.
Like, why is
Prostitution
it
is like you barely get locked up for that shit. That's like on TV
why
maybe.
do you keep reverting back to going to the corner? Like, let's say you were an electrician and you had a good job, and let's say the company closed down and you down. Like, why
you could do that too. I mean, I guess I go back to that because of, like you said, we all deal with traumas. My trauma is hustling and shit like that. I've been down bad.
I've sell dope.
Yeah, but shit, some of them might.
But he most likely had two parents.
He loses his job. He still got a mortgage. His homeboy is a block boy. He might fall into some shit for 2 seconds, and now he in trouble.
Thank you.
But it's definitely ways.
But my thing is,
eat, but we go to what we know and what we surrounded by,
and especially when we talk about like the minorities.
Selling dope. What I look like being on the corner?
I feel like.
Would you like some of this sugar booger sugar?
Yeah, see, but that's what I'm saying. That's how the woman and man dynamic got switched up. It's like
I got a little
men,
weed over
we
here.
had different chances. We take different chances.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a majority. Like as much as you say, like, oh, you could talk about the electric. There's a lot of people that end up selling drugs.
But the
This
thing
plain and
is,
simple.
I never
And
take.
I mean, look at right now. First of all,
I never
wait.
take away. Hold on, Rico. I'm not a person that ever took away from the value of a man, but me talking about my issues and my challenges doesn't take away from your value. I'm just bringing you what my grievances and my challenges are. My issue is because I want to talk about solutions.
Thank you.
Is why do we always get defensive? You know what I'm saying? We don't have to take away from each other. Me saying I want this or I would like that does not devalue your wants and needs either.
Right.
And that's part of the problem. You're like, women, 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 men, men, men. And this is where we get lost in this conversation.
I mean, I think because we're early on in the conversation, so it's just like a relationship.
So we need
early,
grace, right?
early in the yeah.
No, you need grace to bug out.
All this is a new stage and a new thing, and it's being broadcasted at a rate never seen before. So it's all new. So just like a relationship, you got to go through this hard time to be able to understand that communication is key.
Right.
And eventually we'll recognize, like, damn, all right, let's chill. We've been doing this for a while, and this shit ain't getting us nowhere. Let's talk. And then you'll start to see some progress, but it still will require people relinquishing their guard. Like, you got to give up something. Like, everybody's going to have to give. The man is now going to have to give, and the woman's going to have to give. She's going to have to become a little submissive, as well as the man will have to become submissive. You get what I'm saying? It goes both ways.
You know what?
Not till they realize.
I agree.
You know what?
You can do it.
Wait, you know what I think the problem is too?
You need grace.
No, stop this. Here's the issue.
No, I do think men need grace.
I
Because
don't-
no, you have to think about it. Men are literally.
I'm not running on no grace. Nobody needs grace. Listen,
Serious?
listen.
Like, you have to look at the change in society. There's a huge power, like a power shift right now. And just like women need grace, and I've actually never said this on here, but now that I think about it, this is a huge shock to men, to the ego, to the conscience, to your nuts, like everything. It's not the life that your father lived. It's not the life that your grandpa lived or your great grandfather. So everything is new. You don't look back at your dad like, oh, my daddy did this. I
Right.
can just do what he did. No, it's you. So when I think about it, men need grace also. Because it's not fair to think that they can just, at the drop of a dime, change and can deal with the new dynamic of the modern woman.
Right.
It's not fair.
Aaron got it.
Based on the scenario, so Alan is saying that if we have a plane crash, God forbid, you have 10 men, 10 women, and you're on some deserted island, and now you got to figure shit out. I guess everybody got one toothbrush, one pair of drawers, and a short set, right? Everybody has the same thing.
One pair of socks.
Okay, no, a shoe. We need shoes. So
You had 'em on your
and
feet.
shoes.
Flip-flops.
So the question is, what happens? What do the women do, and what do the men do? Alan believes that women, I guess, will naturally revert to a certain state, and men will naturally revert to a certain state. So, thoughts, guess, move.
Aaron is so.
If I had to play
Aaron,
this
give me a
out
high five.
realistically, right?
Give me a fucking
Let
high
me think,
five.
right?
'cause
So you got
I admire how smart you are.
you got 10 men, 10 women, right? There's going to be certain men that stand
It's
out.
2023. I forgot to say that.
Yeah, it's
2023.
right now.
At the time, probably
You're
wouldn't
stuck in
matter.
Belize.
But you're gonna have certain men that are more masculine than other men. And the crazy part, you got so many men that wouldn't even know how to take care of themselves. So now you're gonna have women once again chasing after the same dude. That dude gonna procreate with a couple of the women. They're gonna be a couple of
Makes sense.
cousin kids, running around the island.
Cousin brothers.
Yeah, some cousin brothers. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be just like now. The same
not
way you
gonna
got
try to
women
do
who
this.
dealing with the same dude, or a dude dealing with a whole lot of women because of the masculines.
Wait,
That's
so
what it's
we
gonna be
make
based
no
on.
plans to be rescued? No,
Oh wait,
no
I'm
nothing.
gonna take care of that part.
I'm guessing we chilling
We
on
don't
this
put our
island.
resources
Nah.
together. We don't come together and
sound
like
like it's
come
just
up
this
with
10
a
and 10.
resource and say,
There's
okay,
no-
none
there's
of
no
us want to
plans.
be here, right? Let's figure out a plan of how we can possibly be rescued and start.
This reminds me
Wait,
of
can
the
I-
book
can
with
I-
the
can I
little
go?
kids that was,
Can I
like,
please go?
stranded on
No,
the
wait,
island.
let everybody give their.
Can I please go?
Let's become
Okay, so there's
Lord of the
10.
Flies.
That's what I was.
There's
You guys
10.
just hear me talking about the book.
Like
Lord
we
of the
just
Flies.
become Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the
That's what
Flies.
happens, right?
I'm getting the fuck out of
So
there.
there's
Marie,
10
me and you
men.
are right here because I was trying to figure out the name of the book. Lord of the Flies. Sorry, Rico. Go ahead.
So if there is a plane that crashed and there was 10 men and 10 women, right? And we're asking, what would be the dynamic between the two on a deserted island?
Men gonna take care of the women.
I think that what would happen is, I would arguably say there would be about 2 or 3 real men, 8 or 7 other men. There will be another 2 or 3 strong women, and then another 8 or 7 other women. And the top 4 to 6 men and women will go hunt. This is actually proven. The other 7 or 8, they're gonna figure out how they can both gather. See, what I've learned is that strong men and strong women are rare, and there are not a lot of them. The problem is we've allowed something that is digital and now physical in sense of paper, currency, to make women think that those other 7, 8 men are men, but they're not the strong man here. And I think that's where a lot of the confusion happens. Now, yes, now if we go back to the analogy, those 4 to 6 people will hunt, the rest will gather and try to build resources. Men and women will go ahead and whatever role that they fit. You know, some men may be weak. He can't lift up a big tree branch. So what he might do is he might have 4 of him, and 4 other girls lift up one tree branch to try to build a hut. But they will be building the village while the 4 to 6 people who are actually capable of hunting to go ahead and bring back. Now, here's something that I found out, which is dope to support this. When I went to the gun range, the guy who was training us said, and by the way, this was a long time ago. I have to state that, right? Women oftentimes on the first shooting. So with my girl, women oftentimes have better aim than men. Mm-hmm. This is not by accident, right? So the ability to hunt is in women, but it's not in all, and it's not in all men either. And I think that's what we are getting confused today in this world.
You know what I wonder? Now let's think. What would happen if the 10 people, the 10 men and the 10 women on that island, reverted to the way we act now, the way women want to do for self and all that? Would it work?
So this is
no.
I don't know. Did you want to respond first?
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
They would die.
So this is what I think will happen. I think from that group of 20, there's gonna be someone, maybe 2, emerge as like a real leader, man or woman, and the leader's gonna have the vision and the idea of how to get everybody else off, get everybody housed and fed and clothed or whatever, right? And then you're probably gonna have, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say it's gonna be probably a woman or 2 who they're going to do the operations part of making that idea come to fruition. And then I think those 1 or 2 women who are doing the ops, they're going to control everybody else as far as, hey, you
do this.
Yeah, you can sew. All right, you go sew over there. Oh, you know how to chop wood. You go chop wood over there. There's going to be somebody like doling out assignments. And this is all going to come from like 1 or 2 people at the very top who have shown that they have the leadership skills, that they have the intelligence, that they have the emotional capacity to talk to people, to deal with people, to, you know what I mean? Like, there's a certain level of charisma.
Would the leader be a man or a woman? I'm curious.
It could be either. And to be very honest,
it'll probably be a man.
If you say so. But
this
you just think if you
and this is where
just let me finish. So let me finish.
This is where the problem.
But let me finish. But this is the thing. It's not going to be one person who's running everything.
Right.
Because 9 times out of 10, the person who is the leader likely can't do shit. They cannot do shit. They cannot do it themselves. They cannot do the ops. They cannot dole out responsibilities. They only just have the vision. And they have the workings of how to put it together. But they still can't make it come to pass.
Right.
So really, yeah, he a leader, but like, other than the idea and the vision, what else can he do? He's incredibly valuable to the situation, but he's not the one making it happen. It's the 2 ops people. And again, that's gonna be a man or a woman. I think it'll probably be women, but it could be a man or a woman. So those are the people that's real, the intermediaries, those are the ones that's gonna really make it happen. So and they're gonna identify whose strengths are what. And then they're gonna put everybody on their strengths. And then that's how they're gonna either make themselves a way out, or they're gonna figure out how to like create a village there, and they're just gonna have to live there till whenever.
Can I, this made me just think about something, and I gotta say this. Now, this is a separate scenario, but very similar. And this is just going back to the whole I don't need a man thing, right? If we said the whole world was wiped out in terms of people, right? Whatever. There was a COVID, there was a new strand of COVID, and it killed 7 point something billion people. And there's one man,
But they said COVID's not real. So.
but you get what I'm saying. So now let's go with it, right? Something happened where everybody dies, and we're still on this. I don't need a man. I think women need to understand how important men are to society, in the sense that we actually help continue society to progress in terms of population. If I took 100 men and one woman in a 2-year time span, how much could I populate this world?
Okay, but there's
Wait, nigga, you said one woman?
hold on.
Listen to what I'm saying.
No, I'm trying to understand. You said one woman?
I said one woman and 100 men. How much?
9 months.
How much could I? Yo, I just want an
Maybe
answer,
five-
guys.
Maybe like 5 kids.
5 kids in 2 years, right?
No,
in a
2
24
years is-
in a 24-month time span.
Oh, so it'll be 2 kids.
2 kids, yeah. It takes
cool.
them that year.
If I took one man,
Gotta let the vagina
one
go.
man, and 100 women, and I said we need to repopulate the earth, how many kids can I have in 24 months?
200?
Roughly.
But
Okay,
So this is the but what I'm trying to say is that men are, but what I'm trying
trying
to
to make it seem like you're more
no,
valuable.
no, I'm not making it seem like I'm more.
That your point is
This
that
is-
like
The sperm
okay.
You
work.
see what I'm
man,
saying? I can't even wait. Let me finish. Let me
okay.
finish my thing.
Oh my
What I'm
God.
saying is, we talk about we don't need a man.
Nobody said that.
But if
What are we? Yo,
Oh, okay, you're talking
what?
about women. You're talking about women. Okay.
Yo,
All right.
I don't need a man in my life.
yo, men are.
That is their personal preference for what their life means for them. They just have nothing to do with what a man's value in life
To the world.
to the world. Because
Right.
if I
That's a good
say
point.
I don't need a man in my life because I'm good, I'm set, and I don't really care for a romance in my life. I'm whatever my life is like right now, I'm good. That does not take away from what a man can.
What if
do to the
every
world.
woman? What if
If I
every
wanted
woman
to
thought
get
like that?
pregnant, then yes, I need.
Amanda, if every so this is what I'm saying. It probably started off with one woman that thought like that, but now we're probably at, I don't know, at least 100,000 women that think like that, maybe even more. But I'm gonna go on the low end. What I'm saying is, when something starts, it doesn't end where it starts. It continues to progress. So now, yeah, you could say that that's what it is, but the reality is this: if at this rate, all women say I don't need a man, we're going to end up in a place where population is going to go like this. Down. Now, shout out to
But
Elon.
by the way,
Elon Musk actually said that there is a population.
no,
Problem.
because
And
the
that's
Y
okay.
chromosome
Decrease.
is disappearing.
Huh?
Earth is getting
The
very
Y
populated.
chromosome is apparently disappearing,
okay.
and if you
And what women? I mean, and men to give into women?
yeah, you can't have a boy without a Y chromosome.
Yeah, you're saying
so-
it's less boys, right?
right.
Yeah,
so
'cause
they're-
there's less
they're
girls is what you're
estimating
saying.
50,
No, she's
60
saying there's less
years.
boys.
No, the Y
Oh.
chromosome is disappearing.
Right.
Why?
Because it. Yeah, so
Right.
women
Oh,
are
got you.
XX
Mm.
and
Right.
boys are XY. So they're
So
basically
women are
saying that
Women
in
are
about
going to
60
rule
years,
the world.
the
You know why?
population of
Because they
men
be
will be
drinking
over-
Heinekens and they be drinking estrogen drinks and taking these and ingesting these estrogen foods.
It's in the vaccine.
I don't eat Frosted Flakes. You know I don't eat Frosted. I eat Captain Crunch. That's where the real you got to be a warrior to chew Captain Crunch. Yeah, it don't even hurt me no more.
You gotta be a real man.
Yeah, real men eat Captain Crunch.
killing the roof of your mouth.
It's called a callus. It's called a callus, baby.
Your mouth gets so rough, it's just used to
Shit
it.
don't even cut no more. Come on, it's like work hands.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we should end this on so we've talked a lot about the problems tonight, like
Solution.
an incredible amount about the problems and the causes of the problems, in which I think it's very
I
important.
think the cause is
However, I think that what we owe to our audience is like a nugget of information regarding the solution.
We'll start with smooth, since smooth is smooth.
Baby, like smooth. Do people do that?
I never heard
Can
that
you
one
teach me
before.
how to? You
No.
never.
She's
got
from New
asked-
York,
never
bro.
got
She's
asked
from New York.
to
Just a
teach
little.
anybody how to Dougie.
That's not even the real Dougie. So
But I think
mean,
that
it
the
is-
solution comes down to one woman. Gotta let the guard down a little bit. You gotta let the guard down. You gotta stop trying to prove something to society and men by making money. It's cool to make money, but you just also gotta be down for your nigga. If you so happen to meet a man and he doesn't make as much money than you, or he's not as successful or established as you, does he stand a chance? If he make you happy, are you gonna be with him? You get what I'm saying? We gotta change the way we approach relationships first off. You gotta stop women always trying to date up. You're not willing to date a man that make less money than you or not as fancy as you. His will ain't nice as yours. You got the Benz and he got the Toyota. It ain't gonna work. Why? Why he can't drive his Camry and you drive your Benz? I know a lot of women that ain't gonna go for it. We gotta change the way we think. Be willing to help each other to grind up together. You know what I'm saying? Be willing to become a unit and don't always look for the man to be the one that initiates this unity. I feel like that's the only time a team happens is because a man say, "Yo, we could do good work together. We should work. Are you gonna come to me and bring me some properties and tell me that I should, get with you and we could do this?"
No, for sure.
Nah, it
She a
ain't happening
Gemini.
like that. Yeah, it ain't. She's just telling fibs right now.
Telling
It,
fibs.
it don't happen like that. Women don't be for the build up. Like,
So,
you know what I mean?
I just want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. You're only
do, though.
giving suggestions for women on how.
I'm gonna give it to men too. I'm gonna give it to men too. I'm gonna give it to men too.
Alan said to tell the audience to hit the like button.
Oh, guys, hit the like button. Quit playing.
Yeah. If you think women need to,
Hit
you
it
know what I
again.
mean, make some changes, hit that like button. You about to smash that joint.
Like,
Keep
1,000
it-
likes
but,
in
Keep
6
hitting it.
seconds.
Y'all niggas know how to do that. Keep hitting the like button.
When it come, they ain't get one like it. They mashing it. She said this joke going up.
Don't you
Uh,
can't listen to her. She be on some
You
super
went on like
duper.
this, that's why I
Yeah.
like this.
But when it come to men, like men, we got it. We have
Stop making
issues.
your voice so soft.
We have
Talking about
issues
niggas.
that we gotta change. We got issues, but our issues don't come in the form of like how we treat our women in a sense. It's about the things we do outside of them. We treat our women nice. See, but we sometimes men like other things. Men got a big appetite. So that's where you tend to hurt women. Is by fucking with other women. Normally that's what it is. But
that's the
you know what's
only-
crazy? I was
that's the
thinking about
commercial.
I was
Okay.
thinking
That's a.
I was thinking
That's
about,
definitely the biggest deal breaker for a woman is because I fucked another
I
woman.
was thinking about how they always talk about men are not loyal and we're dogs, right? But if you think about it, a man will stick with his same woman forever. If she'll allow him, he may cheat and he may fuck up due to his tendencies or his appetite for other women and the shit he see. But a woman let another man come along that can provide the same or more or a better situation or a better safety net, she will cut that nigga off and slide. So women are super unloyal in some senses. Men, we gonna stick to you. You may not provide nothing for me. We take care of house and home, pay all the bills. You can do nothing for me but be what I need you
Just
to
be
be
you.
is and love me. You know what I mean? Make me feel at home. That's all you do.
Whenever I'm at
And I'm
home.
gonna keep you no matter what you do, no matter how many times you ain't do what I wanted you to do.
Boy, you
I'ma
was going
stick to you.
somewhere
Well, I was
before.
about to say this isn't the best closeout for our.
Right, we
No,
were-
I
he
mean,
was-
I'm
he was
'cause-
going.
but he's
somewhere.
not-
Because I had to talk because I had to.
But he's not
I had to
lying,
spin
though.
off because it was a spin-off because men, we always get that like we unloyal and we dogs, but truthfully we stick to what we know. We don't shy away from that. We fuck up, but if you was my ride or die, we
not
rocking and we
riding.
rolling.
I'm
We
not
rocking
riding
and we
out for
rolling.
nobody.
appetite.
But how
Look
They
at
many
don't do the ride or
like we
dies
said,
over here, bro.
like the Lori
That's
Harveys.
just what we do.
I just want
Ride or
to.
die
There's
for Aaron
actually
Campbell.
They
nothing.
dipping and
We know
I
that.
wanted to say this before, but there's nothing wrong
lips.
with Lori
Yeah.
Harvey. Like
What?
zero wrong with Lori Harvey. Y'all keep
What you
bringing it
mean
up
by
as if like there's anything wrong.
Have
with
you ever
what
been
she's
hit with a
doing,
shoe?
But no, you want me to hit you
Why
with
you,
one?
so why you saying there's nothing wrong with it?
Real quick.
But hurry
Why you
up.
saying there's nothing wrong with it?
There's nothing because you guys keep bringing up Lori Harvey and there's zero wrong with what she's doing. She's public. She's a public figure. So
You're hitting a homie.
You guys know all of the relationships that she's been in, but why is that different from any other 25-year-old
Yeah, it's
who's had 3 relationships in the past 3 years?
I mean, the difference is of one, the
What?
stature of men she deal with. So she dealing with men. It even came out like if you didn't even make a certain amount, she ain't even fucking with you. So it's like it always
Because
comes
that
down
came
to
out of her mouth
women.
in some interview that she had.
So it
She's
all.
a public figure.
So
She's
it comes
sexy as
down to
hell.
women
If
having
she
these.
catches the attention of future,
What if men had these standards? What if
That
what if-
she's
what
not
if
the only
men-
one.
What if men walked around with the same thing? Like it was a dude. He a
That'd
podcast
be
dude,
me.
And he say some wild shit sometimes, and he like, if you with me and we go on a date and you don't fuck me, you never probably gonna see me again.
That's
if
my
you miss the
homie. Shout out
opportunity.
Finessers Club.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say,
That's
he
my
said
homie.
it.
Yo.
And you know what?
He said it.
I agree. Like,
I mean-
you only get one chance to hit it. You
Nah,
hear
see,
me?
But even in that shit, like, it's misogyny in there at some point. But my thing is, it's like when he does it, I'm sure a lot of women look at that as crazy. So when women walking around with these crazy vicious standards for men, but you allowed to come in a relationship with nothing, and a man should accept you, why? Like, why does that?
But you do know why it's happening. It's because men are accepting them. If that behavior was not acceptable, at no point would women seek to do that because it doesn't work.
Thank you. So that's the solution. First of all, I don't believe in dealing with the woman that has nothing. That's one. First of all, you're not, especially if you're somebody who has something as a man, you can't be willing to risk what you got for somebody who has nothing near it. I don't subscribe to it. I don't condone it. I don't recommend it because somebody who don't got anything to lose is a big risk, and a risk to everything that you've built, especially if you built something really big.
Yeah,
So-
that's different though.
So, but my thing is,
Levels.
it's levels, of course. Now, if I'm somebody who's like, I sit here and I be watching. We talking about solutions, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes, please.
I need women to stop telling people to date within your budget or date within your bracket,
Facts.
and you only dating out of your bracket. Okay, that's a solution. You make $30,000 a year. You qualify for the man that makes $30,000 a year. Women shouldn't be allowed to date up. Men shouldn't be allowed to date up. Then, if we was basing it on that.
Too bad it's not in the law book.
No, but we're talking about solutions, right? The laws ain't always right. so that'll be a solution. If we wanted to make a rule, we got to stick to the rule across the board for both, in my opinion. That's what Aaron Campbell said. If the rule can apply to both parties, is generally good advice, right? So when we talk about solutions, I think that the first thing we need to do is stop letting outside materials, similar to what you said,
About to say that.
influence us.
Facts.
And I say this on both aspects. Ladies, you're not a boss because you got money. You don't take care of nobody but yourself. Fellas, you're not a boss because you got money. You still the same cornball that you were. You feel me? So like when you start using money to try to dictate your power and try to dictate your image, right? And realistically tell a lie to whomever you're dating and be a representative, you're only causing disaster. With that being said, the next cause of that, which is something that we got to fix, which is a solution, is stop letting your past relationship and your traumas or whatever the situation you dealt with Jimmy dictate how you treat Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy and Mark might not be the same.
Hard ass.
It's a hard ass, but it's the only realistic thing. Like
I agree.
you know what I'm saying? I can't date Angela and Angela do me wrong, and so I treat Jessica like Angela. It don't make no sense. There's no progress there.
We all got a hill.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Everybody need
Angela ain't always white. You know what I'm saying? Angela's not always white.
Everybody need to heal.
Angela, the
Gervonta.
Jessicas, the what did you
I ain't
say?
doing no
Gervonta.
first of all, I'm not saying the nigga's name. That's one. I'm not doing the whole what's it called? Keisha. I don't do Keisha's. Keisha's is 2007. like I'm far, huh?
I know Akeisha. She's
More like Alejandra's. If you catch my drift. Give a solution to the war, the gender war.
How do we fix it?
She don't know. She's
Well,
still
I would say
hyper
for the-
independent.
I would no. That's what I was gonna say for the ladies. Hyper independence is a no. It's not a big no, but we need to come down off our high horse. Okay. And for the men, for the men, y'all don't control.
Remind them.
For the man them. Stop trying to be so controlling. You guys don't run the world. I know it may seem like this, but it's 2023. Okay? Let's give some grace, as Erin said earlier. Let's give some grace, and let's identify that women and men kind of go through the same struggles in relationships. So I feel like being the breadwinner, being the person that, takes care of the family or whatever holds your power, come off of that as well. That's all I gotta say.
All right. So in closing, I'll give and I'll be short with this. I think that the most important thing as far as solutions are concerned is that we need to learn how to live our own lives and not take direction from people who have not proven um, worthy of giving direction. So if you saw your parents have a lovely long-term marriage, look at your parents. Don't look at social media. Like, and I'll give you a perfect example. This when the former First Lady Michelle Obama, a lot of people be like, "Oh, that's relationship goals." She was like, "I wasn't even fucking with Barack at that time. He was working my nerves. I couldn't stand him. We just had an argument." We don't really know what's going on with these people that we see. All we doing is seeing them. That's it. We don't know these people from a person on the street. So I think that if you want to be married, if you want a successful relationship, you really need to be around people who are doing it. If you want to be a successful parent, you need to be around other successful parents. Like, you're not gonna be like, you want to be a millionaire, but you hanging out with crackheads, right? You want to surround yourself with like-minded people. So I think that we need to start taking cues from people who have like shown themselves as successful in those areas. And you men out there who want submissive women and you want women to follow your leadership, be a leader. Go be around other leaders, because a penis does not make you a leader. So I think that if that is what you seek in a woman, if you want someone to be submissive and you want to be a leader, show yourself as a leader. Prove yourself to be a leader. And women, I think that, one, we need grace, just like men need grace in this time that we're living in. But I think that, like, we really need to not follow social media, period. Like, we cannot take our cues on relationships, on men, or anything from social media. It really needs to come from people around us who've been successful at it, because so far it hasn't been successful, right? Like, I ain't seen no success. So, yeah, like, and I guess we're gonna wrap it up with that.
Oh, can I one thing?
Oh yeah, sure.
Because I was getting to it, but I didn't get to say it. I just think we all need to process our past traumas, heal, learn yourself, figure yourself out, and then just do you. Like, even when you say lean on, you can't even do it because nobody exposes the full dynamic of the relationship. So if you got two best friends and they seem so lovey dovey every time they outside, inside he might be fucking her up. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot base anything off of what you see. Go off of what you feel. Trust yourself, trust your instincts, and just be pure in whatever decision you make. Don't make it out of anger. Don't do it because you feel like you need to be this way because you was treated like this as a kid. And that go for both. It go for female and male. Let go of all the past shit, live it now, and stop comparing yourself to anybody. Stop looking on social media and just do y'all. I feel like once you learn to just do y'all, you gonna be cool. You gonna be straight because there's not comparison is the killer of joy.
Facts.
You can't kill your joy when you ain't worried about trying to keep up with X, Y, Z.
You gotta tune out the noise.
That's it.
Yo, Smooth. So before we tap out, go ahead and drop all your ats and where they can find you and anything you got going on that you want to plug in.
Once again, that man Smooth on Instagram and Cooking Up 25 Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Just check in with us. We doing something special right now. If you in the tri-state area and you have a business, go on the page. It'll be instructions on how you can get on the show. So if you feel like you deserve to tell your story and you need a little light, you want to promote your business, we're not charging nobody. We want to see everybody win. Just go in there, follow the instructions, and you might find yourself on Cooking Up 215.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, listen, I think that we had a great conversation. We definitely appreciate you pulling up. Shout out to Philly.
Appreciate the invite.
No doubt. So, listen, everybody, I hope that y'all did appreciate the episode as well. Keep on liking, subscribing, support us in many different ways, whether you're subscribing to our membership program or you're subscribing to our date box. There's a bunch of different ways for you to go ahead and support us. We appreciate all of it, and we'll see you next time at 8 at the Table.